Hi, welcome to my channel. This is Arrow World. I am a recording artist, producer, and engineer from LA, California. And I wanted to introduce myself as I know a lot of you are new to me. And I want to help you guys get into whatever it is you want to get into in the music industry and or just becoming an independent artist in that sense. So if you guys like the video, please subscribe and also follow my Spotify and Instagram, which I'll have linked below as well. All right, so the first thing I always recommend is getting a good interface. And this is going to be depending on, what you guys are more comfortable with. I like universal audio just because I can depend on the one I have already. Focusrite has always been about the artist and helping the artist get started. They even have like bigger models as far as like quality and all that. So you definitely have options there. This is going to be either a Universal Audio Volt 2 USB-C. This one's upgraded, so you definitely want to check that your computer is able to handle that. If not, the Focusrite Scarlett 2i2 is always a good choice for that. For the mic options, I do have the Audio Technica AT2020 on here. I've used this mic in the beginning when I started recording other artists, and I definitely recommend it. It's very clear and very precise as far as what you get. Again, going back to the video that I dropped, if you live in a noisy environment or somewhere that you feel is not treated carefully, then your go-to is definitely going to be your Shure SM57. And this mic, again, has been used by a lot of different artists on drums, on vocals, on everything you could think of. I had one in the past, but it wasn't what I needed at the time, so I upgraded my mic to a different one. Third, you're going to need cables or mic stands. Depends on what type of situation you want to get yourself into. If you're going to be recording on a desk, then I definitely recommend something different. Maybe something like this, like a boom arm. But for the most part, if you're going to get yourself situated in a position where you're recording standing up, then you're definitely going to need a tripod mic stand. I have this stand here myself, and I feel like the quality is pretty good. Any mic cables, I do recommend something decent as far as like 10 feet, only because I know sometimes you might want to move. You definitely want to give yourself enough distance as far as how, long the cable is. All right, for the headphones, I do recommend the Sony MDR 7506s just because I know frequency response for these are pretty flat. So you're going to be able to get something pretty decent if you want to be recording. All right, so moving on to the second tier, as far as what I think you might need to record good sounding quality music or, anything that you might be doing with like vocals and whatnot. The first recommendation for this, I don't have it organized, but let me start here. As you could tell, the total is a little bit higher as far as what you need, but this is definitely going to help you guys get some recordings and being able to send some quality stuff to maybe like an engineer or a producer so they can work with that stuff. So the first thing I'm recommending is a solid state Logic SSL2. For the price, this is a pretty decent interface. It does have, pretty much everything you need as far as preamps and even like their signature legacy 4K sound. And for these, for the price that it's at, I do recommend this one if you're just getting started as far as getting into recording better quality vocals or making, songs that you might want to upload. So this is definitely something that can cut it. For the microphone, I do recommend the Lewitt Ray large diaphragm condenser. I've heard nothing but good things about this company, and I'm not sponsored or anything, but I always wanted to get myself one of these, even just to try to test the quality of the microphones. What I like about this company is that they're always upgrading their things. They're always changing up their microphones. They have a new microphone that's catered to maybe like content creators where you don't have to worry about the distance you're talking. Everything is going to be sounding good. A lot of the products are pretty well built and of high quality. So I do recommend this if you're looking into something a little bit higher end. Going into the cables, I do recommend the Mogami Gold studio microphone cables. I own about like 4 of these just because I connect everything to it. The only one that I don't have any connection of a Mogami style cable is this microphone here. So they're able to take care of you in that sense. I'm always going to recommend like a 10-foot cable just because I know sometimes we need to move around and stuff. And, it definitely helped me in the past where I need to move the microphone further or closer to me, things like that. So you never want to, have like a small cable where you might regret it later. This one is kind of just a personal choice. You could definitely just get away with maintaining the regular mic stand. But for me, I feel like if you're going to be recording as a solo artist or anything like that, you definitely want to just be comfortable in your desk and be able to punch in quickly and just do edits quickly. Whereas you might not have like a engineer with you to help you do that. For headphones, these are the ones I'm wearing now. This is the Audio Technica AT-HM50s. They have different options for these, but these have been like my workhorse for a lot of things. I'm used to how it sounds. I'm used to like everything that it does. So I definitely always recommend these. These are good for recording vocals and just hearing a good mix. Okay, and finally, I want to give you guys like a rundown of the studio that I built over the years and why I chose what I chose, and eventually kind of not really settled, but just was okay with what I had at the time. And I definitely want to upgrade in the future. I have like a lot of options that I'm looking into as far as like upgrading my interface for the most part, and also maybe adding like a audio converter, and give you guys like a thought process behind why I ended up upgrading from what I originally started from, and where you guys can eventually hopefully reach. So let's start with the microphones. Again, the Newman TLM 103 has been a very, very special mic to me because it's one of the first big upgrades that I made after my initial purchase of my, first microphone. I was looking into a lot of different things, and Newman just kind of stuck out to me a lot. Obviously, the 87 and all those bigger microphones were like the staple of like a good recording at the time. And I was able to purchase this right after, once I started making some money and, working and putting some money to the side. So I definitely started my journey into music in a good way. This one is very similar to the Newman TLM 103. I think that the Newman TLM 103, you can definitely get that type of quality from this in audio mic, especially on the middle switch, because it has three different switches to give you different types of recordings or textures to the vocal. But I definitely feel like the TLM 103 you can get away with a lot of different things with this microphone. Again, this was my workhorse for a while. Recently changed to a lot in audio Atlantis, but for some reason I always feel like this one was, perfect the way it was. And I might even sell this one eventually. I kind of want to make upgrades to other things other than my microphone, knowing that I have two of these. So I'll probably get that available down on the link below, because I am selling that one for a little bit less than what this is costing. So definitely check that out. I will be posting a lot of different links to my music and all that stuff. This one is not exactly the one I have. This one is a Furman outlet power conditioner, but I still recommend it if you do want to protect all your high-end equipment, especially if you live in an area where there's a lot of power outages, things like that. And also you want to give some clean power to the preamps and microphones that you're using. So you definitely want to get like a conditioner and or something that might protect like for surges. Next one up is the Behringer X Touch. This one, I basically just use it for when I record and I punch myself in. It's literally more direct and less so much looking into the keyboard and pressing that. But I use that mostly just to be able to move around, the DAW and stuff like that. The next one up is a desk. This one is very depending on what you're trying to do as far as either production, recording, all this other stuff. You can get away with just getting like a simple desk. For me, I think when I bought the desk that I have now, which is like a two-tier, it's similar to this one, but it's not exact, but very, very similar. So it's the same price as well. You could definitely find one cheaper nowadays. But for me at the time when I bought this, it was one of the first things that I bought just because I wanted to feel like I was working towards something. So once I had the desk, that meant that I had to fill it up. So it kind of made me just chase after what I wanted to get. So definitely not needed at all, but this is kind of what my setup is looking like. Next one up is the tripod mic stand that I was talking about. This one, I have like two of these. I use one for just, over the shoulder type of podcast style filming that I do sometimes, and or anything that I might want to do like a live session with. It's always good to have a couple laying around just to, whenever a company comes or anybody that wants to record. For the price, this one's really good. It's lasted a while. Um, for this one, I feel like the quality is pretty good. The grip and the tightness of it is good. And it's able to hold my Atlantis microphone. So that's, pretty good in my eyes. So moving forward, next one up, this one is the a subwoofer that I own, and I kind of bought these first, the Yamaha's HS8s. I bought these a while back, but as far as pricing, I think they went up. All right, moving on the list, the Yamaha's HS8s. These are really reliable as far as what you get from them. They're very clear and very mid-range. These were one of my first pair of speakers that I bought. I used to have like these M Audio smaller speakers, or like a 4-inch speaker that I would use just to like listen to music. But I eventually upgraded to the 8-inch powered studio monitors, and I've had them ever since. I haven't really made a upgrade to these at all, but it's in the works as far as like upgrading a lot of different things. Maybe not these for a while, but definitely want to get into maybe buying a separate pair that might help me, like, reference different speakers. And if you're going to be buying speakers, you're definitely going to need some monitor stands. So these are not the exact monitor stands that I have. Mine's are a little bit more old school, but these look pretty cool in my eyes. They're a little upgrade to what I have. The ones I have are pretty they're pretty old, and usually you can't find them anymore. They're kind of heavier and stockier, but this should do the job for you. Again, like I mentioned earlier, I use a bunch of Mogami Gold Studio microphones, and I use them pretty much for miking my microphones, and then routing my outputs to my inputs of the preamps and stuff like that. So these have definitely been able to like keep up over the years, and I haven't really had to upgrade anything different. Next one up is the Pop Killer Gooseneck by Hakan. These are pretty cool because you can always just remove this part here and then just wash it, especially if you're working with like a lot of different people. You definitely don't want to keep using the same cloth pop filter and not be able to wash it, because you definitely don't want to just keep the same pop filter over and over and use it for a lot of different clients. So I like to be hygienic and just keep this clean. So I'll take it off, wash it, bring it back, and it's like new. It is a little pricier than most of these, but for what it gives you, it's pretty clean as far as the size and everything else. It's a good purchase in my eyes. So the Hakan P110s, those are really clean, and I do recommend that one for your recording needs. Next one up is the Atlantis Microphone Halo Portable Microphone Reflection Filter. This one was one of my later purchases just because I felt like that I needed more acoustic treatment to the setup that I had. I didn't have a lot of acoustic treatment at the time, so I definitely went into buying like a microphone reflection filter. I do recommend this one because it is the latest one that I've owned. I own some different models and different company pop filter reflection filters, but this one's been pretty good for what it does. Obviously, there's no substitute to having like a treated room or like a ISO booth, but it definitely does the job for what you need it. Second to last, my Universal Audio Apollo Twin. I have the Duo and I have the PC version because I do own a PC. Basically recording everything I do in a PC. Maybe in the future, one of my goals is to have like at least one Mac on the side, just to be able to open like different sessions from people that might be on Mac only. So I definitely want to upgrade that, and maybe I'll go over like an upgrade list on the next video, so that way you guys see what my plan is to upgrade on these. But this is pretty much my setup. Lastly, this was actually one of the first things I bought, which is crazy because I don't know how I was able to afford all this. I think I was working like a summer job after summer job, and I was just collecting different allowances, and I was working for my uncle and my aunt, doing yard work and like just doing like a lot of different things when I was younger. So I was able to somehow purchase a Avalon VT 737 at an early stage. Again, I'm looking at the price now, and this is way beyond what I paid at the time. I think I paid like 2,500 at the time, and it's now almost doubled, um, close to doubling. But pretty much just wanted to go through like a little rundown of what I own. Obviously, you're not counting in the PC or Mac. You're not counting the computer, like all the software and stuff like that. But it's definitely doable. I mean, if I could do it, you could definitely be able to accumulate this type of situation for yourself. And for me, this is like mid tier. It's not really like at the higher end that I want it to be, but this is exactly what I need right now. And I'm not going to be one of those type of people that doesn't appreciate what they have. I am very appreciative of what I own and what I've been able to accumulate over the years. And I hope you guys are able to get inspired by everything that I'm going to be doing, all the mixes, all the music that I'm going to be dropping. I hope that that inspires you guys to be able to do the same thing, because I definitely was inspired at an early age from like a bigger artist, and I was able to just slowly and gradually do everything on my own, all independently with no label, no help from anybody. So there's no excuses as far as like what you need to do. If you really love music, or if you really want to get into content creation, recording, or even just being like an engineer or a mixing engineer, then you can definitely do it. All you have to do is just pretty much start and just take it slowly, and try to do your homework as far as what you might want to do and need. But yeah, this has been pretty cool. I haven't done a video like this ever. Like, this is one of my first videos that I'm going to be posting here, that I edit and, kind of get together for you guys. So I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope you guys subscribe. Make sure you check out my music. I'm going to be linking the Spotify link down below. And hopefully you guys follow me on Instagram as well. Basically, I'm going to be tagging all the links below. So I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys next time.